Hurricane coverage continues on the Weather Channel.
Up next on Evening Edition West Coast, it's an extremely dangerous hurricane with sustained winds as high as 135 miles per hour. Everyone from New Orleans to the Florida Panhandle should be aware of Hurricane Ivan.
Hopefully it'll recurve east and it won't, we'll be up north here, so it won't bother us.
But where the storm makes landfall is the question of the night, especially since it will only take the tiniest adjustments in Ivan's track to change where it finally comes on shore. Welcome to the Weather Channel's continuing coverage of Hurricane Ivan on Evening Edition West Coast. I'm Sharon Resulton.
I'm Dave Schwartz. Hurricane Ivan closing in with frightening intensity tonight. Right now, the Category 4 storm is centered just 65 miles south of Alabama coastline, and that was as of an hour ago. So now it's about 50 miles away. Hurricane force winds, for the first time, sustained hurricane force winds are being felt along the coast. We've got crews along the coast in Fort Walton Beach, in Mobile, Montgomery, and Pensacola.
And we're going to start things out, I believe, this go-around with Jim Cantori. Jim, how are conditions looking out there?
Q. 65 miles an hour. We haven't gotten this far inland. We're about 4.5 miles from the coastline, but given the speed, certainly within the hour here, we can gust to hurricane force. Occasionally, I will look off in the distance. I will see less and less light here in Fort Walton Beach, and that means transformers are going to blow. We've got our camera equipment protected, our cameraman is well back there, so all I can show you really is the trees behind me here. For the most part, protected even from some of these, from some of the winds because of the building. So occasionally you'll see the winds just swoop in, bend those trees a little bit, then they stop, then they pick up, start howling again. Rainfall has been very high. We only had one period where maybe 5 minutes the rain did not come down very, very hard. Right now, it's coming down hard, and the winds are blowing it at about 65 miles an hour. The big issue, beach erosion, huge beach erosion. We left the beach this afternoon, guys, and there were already 15-foot waves breaking right on the beach. They're going to be twice that big right now. David and Sharon, back to you.
Okay, thanks a lot, Jim. I'll tell you, conditions are only going to get worse. It looks bad out there now. Transmission is getting interrupted. The weather is only going to get worse. And I'll tell you, forget about football. The Superdome is being turned into a shelter for evacuees in New Orleans.
And I believe now we have made contact with Stephanie Abrams. Let's go live to Stephanie, who is in the Mobile area. Stephanie.
It's now 10 o'clock Central Time, and the winds are getting stronger and stronger, and every minute goes by here in Mobile, Alabama. The rain is still just stinging my face, coming down in sheets. Behind me, you can see these palm trees blowing, and we're really starting to have a hard time standing up now. Of course, we will head inside when the conditions just get unbearable here, and it looks like that will be happening within the next couple of hours. From Mobile, Alabama, I'm meteorologist Stephanie Abrams for the Weather Channel.
And joining our team of meteorologists who are on this hurricane, Mike Seidel in Gulfport, Mississippi. What's it like there, Mike?
Dave, we're on the weaker side of the storm tonight in Gulfport. In Biloxi, we're on the west side, so our winds have only peaked out at about 54 in Gulfport, 63 in Biloxi, and we've had about an inch of rain so far. The power is still on, so we're looking pretty good so far. Let me show you what it looked like about an hour or so ago off to the east of here in Biloxi, where they've had a little bit stronger wind as far as wind gust, and the casinos have been shut down since yesterday. Everybody's gotten off the beaches. We did find one sign that was blown down, but other than that, notice the power is on, at least an hour ago, was on in Biloxi. So far, so good for the southeastern part of the Mississippi coast, as we do expect some more wind and rain overnight. But again, the worst of the weather will be in Mobile, Pensacola, and over across the western part of the Florida Panhandle. Dave, Sharon, back to you from Gulfport.
Thanks a lot, Mike.
And of course, conditions will continue to deteriorate. Here is why. Let's look at the satellite picture. The eye wall still offshore, and when that moves on in, folks are going to feel it for sure. You will know that the eye of the hurricane is very, very near. Those winds will be up and over 100 miles per hour as this continues to wobble up to the north. And movement has been northward now, as you can see that trend. But any tiny little wobble might shift it a little bit further to the east or to the west, as the case may be. So looking very, very close to the Mobile area, and again, going on westward, Mike in the Gulfport area of Mississippi, and we had all our live crews stationed out here, so you can see the close proximity of each area and everyone feeling the elements to some extent. Let's take a look at some of the latest sustained winds, and again, watching the winds easily up to around 41 miles per hour. Now, around Gulf Shores, we had a report of a sustained wind up to 70 miles per hour. So starting to feel some of that hurricane force coming into play here as that eye wall is getting ever so much closer. And on the satellite radar composite, once again, you can see the eye wall very clearly right down to the ocean. You can see right through that thing moving northward. And check out the heavy rain here with these spiral bands moving on in. Anytime we have a strong landfalling tropical system, we have the potential for tornadoes. We have had over a dozen of them, and we will continue to find problems with that. Even a couple of fatalities around Panama City earlier, folks dining in a restaurant when a tornado hit. So a very dangerous situation here. Tornado watch is in effect. We'll watch this area very, very closely. And again, it's a matter of time now, Dave, before those winds will really pick up there along the coast.
Our coverage of Hurricane Ivan will continue tonight.
Much more to come.
Hello, I'm Mike Bennis in Pensacola. Ivan really making its presence felt right now. Power is out in Pensacola. All lights are off, and the winds are fierce hurricane force winds right now. We'll have a live update for you straight ahead.
This is Robin. How may I help you?
We have 3